I'm here at the gorge, and I'm gonna try my best to. Well, I originally decided to collect Aurelia seeds. You can see the Aurelias right there, but they are not. That clump right there is not producing seeds this year. But there are lots of Aurelias further upstream that are mature enough to form seeds. But I also thought, well, I gotta get the ivy off of the trees at some point. And I gotta do my best. I do not have a saw. However, I have a machete right here, and I'm gonna try. I mean, I haven't sharpened it, but I don't know. We'll see what I can do. 'Cause someone's got to take care of the ivy. No one has. And, you should leave it up to those who actually want to get the ivy out. Well, not from the hillsides, because that's causing a danger, because it will cause erosion. But we can start with the trees, because these trees are really nice. Now, if you want to think a bit more deep about the restoration and conservation of this place, then you should go back to the 1800s, when this actually used to be a redwood forest. Actually 1700s. This used to be a redwood forest, and there were quite large redwoods. All the remains have since completely disappeared, including remnants in the soil. There are no more remnants in the soil. It has completely broken down, but they were logged, like many redwood forests, during the gold rush. And someday, this is gonna be a redwood forest once again. But right now, it is a forest of bare laurels, which, is better than some kind of invasive tree. There is a cherry laurel growing right there. That's not native, but it is not invasive. It was just one of the landscaping trees of the house that used to be here, and it has been neglected and let to spread its very wide canopy all over the place. But I want to get this taken care of. Who else is going to do this? Except a rebellious teenager like me. I have the time. Well, maybe I didn't. I could have been working on my essay right now, but I could not focus a single bit. I kept falling asleep, but I got fine sleep last night. So I don't know why. I get really, really frustrated when I can't focus, just internally. I don't show it, but I really hate when I can't focus on my schoolwork, because it slows me down. And I'm often feeling like that whenever I try starting homework. And it's miserable. But anyway, I'm gonna try to make myself feel like I'm being productive by doing productive work. It may not be schoolwork, but if this gets my mind into shape, I'll do it. So, I hear we'll carry out this deed, and it's gonna be, with an unsharpened machete. I don't know. It looks like the blade will never come out of the handle. This is the one that well, I don't even know if I've shown you this before. I did once post a video of me planting legume seeds from the locust trees And I featured the machete, but I don't know. I think I overshared too much, so I deleted the upload. But I'm gonna just. I was hoping to bring a saw up here. I would have still done the same thing. I have a math folder in my backpack that I don't use anymore, and I use that to kind of guard my backpack from the machete. But also, I have a complaint to file. There is a risk that a house can be built here. I don't know if it's gonna be right here above the drain. There also was a fire hydrant that exploded right here. That was fun. I wish I saw that. I love seeing moving water. And there's a fucking ring, a dugout ring. You see that? Like cause there was water spouting out, and it was coming back down and it slamming the ground in a ring like that, and it was just gushing. I mean, there is still evidence of how much water was flowing all over the place. All these leaves got pushed up. You can see that there was a torrent, so it went right here. It kind of scuffed it up right there, but a whole bunch of leaves were pushed around. I wish I saw that. You know, wouldn't it be nice if like my career is not going to be chasing tornadoes or thunderstorms in the Sierras. It's going to be chasing exploding fire hydrants and naming each of their events. Like, look at this. It was a powerful fucking explosion. Eruption. Like this. Look at the screws. Look at the screws that came. I can collect the washers for my necklace. Holy shit. And I also forgot to wear my necklace today. These are rusty anyway, so no one's gonna use these washers and stuff. But I love like collecting like industrial junk. And like it's like crow behavior. I'm literally a crow. Now there is no risk of tetanus, as far as I know, from doing this. It's pretty just an artistic thing. They put fresh bolts in there, so I'm all good to do this. But it's kind of like the industrial. I just got the idea that it's kind of like I could add it to my industrial techno kind of outfits, which I embrace when it's appropriate. I don't normally dress like that because it's not very popular. It could be considered antisocial, but I try to balance the amount of what is it? I try to balance it's called code switch. Called code switch. I balance the code switch and I balance the self-expression. So I dress mainly in grunge, but not too much grunge. I wear Dickies, and I just like rough pants, and then I wear t-shirts. Then nothing's really black or specified to any color, but. And then if there was a rave, I would go all out. But I'm gonna save these. I'm gonna put them in my pocket. No, that's from, okay. Now I'll put these here. Was laying on its side all the way over there. It just exploded. And there were screws everywhere. And then the impact of the water coming back down fell on a ring. That would have been so beautiful to look at. I love looking at water move like that. And a lot of people do. Tsunami videos, I wouldn't call it a guilty pleasure. Because it's not unusual to see a well-filmed tsunami video from March 11, 2011 in Japan that has like 4 million views, or like torrent videos, like where like there's a flood breaking a dam or something, that's gonna get like 5 million views. So a lot of people can relate. And a fire hydrant exploding would get a lot of views. So the operation I'm going to carry out is, the tree is okay. The tree, I mean, even though bay laurels, they do not have a very thick bark, but they have it thick enough that I could probably, yeah, that's quite easy. So I just broke out a section of that. Now, it would be nice to do this further down so that it's not really working. Why isn't it working? So that, you know, it doesn't regenerate. So about the house that's gonna be built here, there's a sign. I'm really furious about what is to come for this. Should be a protected area. So, I mean, I think I can do this. I might not be able to do the larger vines, but I will try my very best. Now, it's gonna sprout back. It's gonna try climbing again. But I'm just focused on killing off the parts that are up in the canopies. And that requires to, this stuff, these, they have a bunch of aerial roots sprouting aside them. Those are the ones that cause problems. And that's the one that has led to all of its growth. I don't know what it takes to get this off. And I hope this machete does not come out. Okay, so I just got that. So that's good news. Now, there is a debate. Well, sort of. There probably isn't. If, like, ivy can regenerate, if you do not cut out a section of the vine. So if you just leave it in a line, could it fuse back together? I fear, but I really do not think that will happen. So I think it's just quite safe to do. Yeah, this is not coming out anytime soon. And it barely penetrates the bark, which is good. Did I even do my intro? Hello everyone, welcome to the Watch Poplars. Today, I'm going to be doing a big deed in the creek. I'm going to be cutting a lot off the ivy, off of as many trees as I can do, but I also want to collect some of the native Aralia seeds. They're a very under-recognized plant in the ivy family, and that's because they have the same looking flowers. That's the key way to identify a family or related species of a family. If you do not know what they are by the leaves, which a lot of people mistakenly use solely as a way to figure out what is related to, and that's why we have so many common names that suck. So anyway, I'm gonna collect a whole bunch of Aralia seeds because today I came up with a solution for the deficit of this beautiful native plant that is my favorite in people's landscaping. If you have a moist and shady area in your yard and you want something big and beautiful with tropical-like foliage, choose this. It does die back and turn yellow in fall. Okay, I just got this tree done. Time to move on. Let's do this one. I'm gonna pass by the cabin, which is right there. It's an old abandoned cabin that a bunch of teenagers built many decades ago. I don't know how it's standing, but now it's the house of rats. Now among here, it'll be easier to go here later in fall when I can see the poison oak better. But the Toxicodendron diversolobum is really easy to tell for me, because if it's leafless twig tips, and it's just very upward growth habits, of course, and it's trifoliate, lobed leaves. If you're a rookie, please do use the term leaves of three let it be. But if you want to get to learn more, do not use that term. Just use what it is scientifically to identify. I just walked past the target. Use like what you observe. I noticed a long petiole. I noticed 3 leaves. I could go on. That could be another video. So, to my happiness, it looks like someone already came here and did the job for me, but the ivy's rapidly trying to grow back. I don't even think I brought my shears. I didn't bring my clippers. I thought I did, but I have this. It's working a lot better. Could I be technically committing a crime? Yes. In the standards of society at this present time in the Anthropocene, definitely. Society loves to get the law all horny about, people that look kind of suspicious. And I really want that to end. And just, I want people to just stop and think, to observe, to ask the person questions, but not in a passive-aggressive way. That's a problem that we are struggling to deal with, is that whenever we confront someone who does look suspicious, we always approach them really passive-aggressive, and that just makes it worse. You need to not sound too nice. You need to sound like you're actually asking a question, like you're actually curious, and you're not just trying to get the person arrested. Okay? I would, if someone really does feel is against what I'm doing, I would rather have them say, "Go fuck yourself," to my face, than leave me questioning about what they mean by saying, "Are you okay?" Or "Do you need help? Is there something you need? Are you trying to fulfill something by doing this?" Do not ask that question, because that is extremely rude. Because if someone says, "Go fuck yourself," well, then I get it. They're mad. And if they actually use words and explain, they actually tell me what I'm doing is bothering them, yes, I will think about it. I will consider stopping. If it is actually morally wrong, I will definitely stop doing it. I hate it when people are so passive-aggressive. Do not let ivy reach sexual maturity. That is when the leaves turn from this into some kind of populescence. They look like poplar leaves. The stems get thicker. Is this stable? And they start growing like this. They start growing in a tree pattern. And then at the ends of the branches, they form these vile-smelling flowers. And it sucks. And the wood gets tougher, actually. Or so I observe. Do not let it reach sexual maturity, because it has a very high germination rate, especially outside of its native range where there are no herbivores to eat the seedlings. Now this is a dead tree. This is kind of risky, but it is sturdy. But right now I'm trying to save the full-grown trees, not the dead ones that have fallen over. Here are the ruins. There's an old house here, but out of the materials, or maybe something new, there was a house there. And on the walls, behind this little thin section here, there is a script that says, so-and-so fucked here. Okay, there's a tree over here. Here's a native Monterey pine. I do not want to let it get taken over. Saved. I'm really enjoying this. I fear that I'm gonna get called back home when the footage is paused before I start filming again. Now, I'm not turning off the whole video each time I pause it and cut a section. I'm doing it as I film on an iPhone. I don't know what kind of iPhone. Whatever kind of iPhone it is, it's new. In the teens, it's an iPhone teen. That's all I know. But whenever I get called, when I am recording, when I'm not paused, I could just see the thing on the side pop up saying, well, like, you know, someone is calling me. Shows who it is. Of course, it doesn't appear on the video. But when I'm paused, it completely cuts out of the video and it just makes me call them directly. Which is a worry I have, because it interrupts it. That was quite a large one. Oh wow, it looks like someone came here before me and cut part of it off. But is it still alive? It is. And you know why? It's because ivy is bizarre when it forms this. You have to cut every single stem, or else stems will merge like this and they'll start exchanging sap. Sap will start flowing backwards, I guess, on a stem. But I cut the part that it had fused to, so it will not survive anymore. These little roots that kind of sprout out, they are not water-seeking roots. It is too dry at this time of year for these roots to give nutrients to the vines. And they're just used to grab onto surfaces. Even if the surface is very smooth, it's kind of crazy. I feel like if I cut at an angle, I have more luck. This one's a big one. As soon as I start getting hot spots, I'm gonna have to cut the video and start planting or collecting Aralia seeds, because I cannot do this with my left hand. You always got to make sure if there are any others. Even just a small vine connecting it can keep it alive. Okay, save that grand tree. I want to save this one too. The ones where the ivy actually comes back down and forms Tarzan vines. That's the worst. Those are from the biggest vines, and those are the ones that have the most seed production and the most invasions of recruiters. If you think I'm doing wonders for, hopefully not the incoming house that's supposed to be built, or hopefully not supposed to be built, you're wrong. That is exactly not what I want to do. I'm just doing this because it's gotta get done in general. I have a blister right here. I'm developing hot spots, but I think I can work more. I'm just not gonna kind of swing like this. It's because of my ring. My ring is causing abrasions. I'm gonna take my ring off. Okay, I have saved so many trees in the last hour. Well, 45 minutes actually. I don't know how much time I've been up here for. The goats are getting the ground ivy, and I'm getting the trees. But you see that Tarzan thing? It would climb to the end of the tree, and then it has nowhere to go but down. And then it comes back to the ground. It roots itself into the ground and keeps growing. It is horrible. But there's a cedar here. Did I get that one yet? It's not actually a cedar. It's just, I'd call them a cupressaurid because they're in Cupressaceae. This is Calocedrus decurrens, incense cedar. There's a few of them here. I'm glad the people planted this tree in their yard when the house existed. If there wasn't any ivy here, there will be Calocedrus decurrens seedlings everywhere. It would look just like the Sierra Nevada. They have thick bark, so I don't need to worry about damaging them. And if you're wondering, how did you get the machete here? I carried it in my backpack in that math folder, as I said, but only the very little knob like this. Only this was sticking out. Only that didn't fit. So it wasn't like a full-on handle like I'm a ninja. No. If then I would not have brought it. I would have brought this little smaller saw. Probably only as big as the blade. That you just kind of do that. Do not want to look suspicious. I'm zoomed out. I want to see what I can actually do with this. So this is the thickest vine I plan to cut. The ones on that tree are bigger. I don't know what the biggest vines are, but they probably get, twice, maybe 3 times as thick as that. By then they would have covered the entire tree and almost killed it. The tree would be on its last string of stability. But when I cut this is gonna get rid of a whole lot of stuff. It goes all the way out to that swaying branch right there. If I get rid of this vine, I'm gonna have to do it to the rest of them. Because they fuse. And then therefore they can mold into each other. And so this vine here is disconnected. It's died here. But I don't know how it does it, but it acts like it sprouted a branch. So maybe the sap flows like this. So if there's a vine that connects them, eventually this will fuse to the big one if I didn't cut it. But it will look like just a bridge. It'll be like a bridge. And I don't want that happening. Okay, this is the last one that I'll do for now. I just want to get some progress done towards the front so that people know ivy leaves are dropping, they're dying. Finally, trees will no longer be strangled. Jesus Christ. This is a lot of work, but I'm getting exercise. And I have not posted in a while, so I better make this a good video. Complete and fulfilled. Because I do not want to go another day. I prefer not to go another day without posting, because I haven't done so in 2 weeks. Now, I'm not saying I feel like I need to post. It's just a desire, but, you know, I have things on my mind, and they're great dreams like this, but I can't just, you know, it's all because of college, and I don't blame college. I mean, yeah, I really don't. I gotta do what I gotta do. YouTube is a secondary thing. Yeah. But I didn't want to leave you guys hanging, so here's some action. This is not coming out. Okay, I got that one. Okay, so the vines, they're a bit too thick. They're too thick. However, I have gotten progress done. I don't want this to just be you sitting back, almost falling asleep, just watching me with sleepy eyes, smacking the ivy away. I will be doing more videos of me doing this. There will be other times I can go here and show you. But now it is time to collect Aurelia seeds. I've done enough work for now. I see a family friend over there. He didn't see me. No biggie. Time to collect Aurelia seeds. I look like a serial killer in the woods. That's what I look like. When people look at me first glance, they're gonna say, I look like a serial killer. Okay, I got a text from my dad. However, it was just a link to a conservancy website. So, I have nothing to worry about. I'm so excited to see the ivy die. I wanted to do this in early fall so that in mid-fall and late fall and through winter, there would just be ivy leaves raining down everywhere. And that ground would turn beige instead of orange.